And Linda, can you hear me? And can you say, if you can you say you're here? And that'll, then Scott. Scott, you're muted.
I'm here, sorry.
Thank you all. Okay, let's go first, next order of business is, approving the minutes. The advisory board, the first set we have is the non-executive session of September 15th, 2025. Any comments?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you.
Yeah, just noticing that, I know that in that what was distributed, it said that the YouTube wasn't up, but I did notice over the weekend that the YouTube recording is there.
Yeah, so I'll add that then.
Great, thank you. Okay, all those in favor, Peter?
Motion?
Well, you did.
Yeah.
We're gonna approve the minutes. That's what we're doing that piece of it, okay.
Yeah.
And Elizabeth?
Yes.
Thank you. Aaron?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Dan, yes. John?
Yes.
Scott?
Yeah.
And Linda, if you can hear us? That's a no. Okay, or at least abstain, right. And then, on the September 15th, 2025 executive session for approval but not release.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Peter,
Aye.
Elizabeth,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Dan, yes, John,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
and Linda, just because.
Yes.
Ah, hey. Thank you. Community outreach, I guess we have some subcommittee meetings to, minutes to approve as well. The July 18th, 2025 set.
Motion approved.
Anyone want to second that? Aaron, just motioned to approve.
Second.
Thank you, John.
So it should just be the subcommittees now,
Ah.
so it should just be Aaron and John that vote for this one.
Okay. Do I ask them or do they? Or do they do it? However it gets done? All right, John, how do you feel about your minutes?
I'd like to chair my subcommittee for a moment. Aaron, do you support the minutes, approve the minutes?
Yeah.
So do I, Mr. Co-Chair, we approve them.
Thank you, John. I like that process. We also have a set on July 30th of the same year.
So moved. Aaron, do you approve?
Yeah.
Great, I do too.
Thank you. That's a very efficient way to do it. All right, and then we have a set for the legal and government affairs on July 24th.
I'll move we approve those.
I second that. And then it's just the two of us here,
Yeah.
so,
I think you should arm wrestle.
yeah, let's do that.
3 thumbs up.
All right, so,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, thank you. And then lastly, but not least by any means, is the land use planning strategy on the 22nd of July.
Yes, motion to approve.
Second.
And then I think we have here, well, Aaron is like,
I don't know that I attended that.
okay, so, Peter,
Aye.
Dan, Scott,
Aye.
okay, and Linda,
Aye.
thank you all. Okay, the next order of business is reports from the town staff and decan, and I note that Alan and Russ are in the audience, as is Megan. I think I'm gonna start with the decan, because I think Alan, yours might run a little longer, maybe. I did highlight it. On the other hand, I note that Megan is here, so do you want me to go through mine, or do you want to do it? This is the proof of most recent coordination.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I'm happy, I think my main update is, I think we're really trying to shift into scheduling with DCAM for when we can start to have a conversation about the concept that is in, being developed by this body and, in consultation with this level. And so they are aware that we want to get that on the calendar, and we're talking through the logistics of when that could occur. And they're looking forward to, you know, having continued discussions about the work that you all have been doing, and curious to hear what it is, I think, so.
Yes, yes, okay, great. And yeah, there seemed to be, if, I don't know if enthusiasm is the right word, but eagerness to sort of, to see what we're thinking about, so that was good. John maybe is gonna mention this, but the business partnership wants to hear from DCAM, and I think you put together a meeting time for that to take place.
It's even more august than that. Adam is going to speak at the annual dinner of the business partnership, which I believe is October 8th.
Nice, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, and then, let's see. We mentioned to them that we were, giving serious thought to a one-day ULI session. There seems to be a lot of enthusiasm and support for that. There's an upcoming meeting with MassDOT, which I think is scheduled for tomorrow.
Yes.
In case people are interested. And Paul asked for a concept program regarding what the EPW is thinking about, and so I said that my impression was that's in the works. And then a request was made. Normally Alan attends that, right, those meetings, so I'm just relaying some of this stuff to serve everyone else's benefit. And I think we talked about this. I know when I saw it, I thought about it, but I don't know if I said it out loud. DCAM was wondering if the sewer that Mass DOC needs, that could be shifted in, if this thing starts to get legs, that could theoretically end up in that access drive, and kind of makes sense to me that might happen, but you should sort of put that in as a reminder. Paul also asked if the land use working group had a concept program for where housing might end up. So I think that's also in being given some thought. Linda sort of heard that as well. And I think that's to understand the possibility of flexible options for where our housing could end up. And the question that had come up and raised, folks, I don't know if people remember this, but there was some people wondered if DCAM is working on their own definition of affordability. And they said they are not. They don't have it, as opposed to the state's definition. So there's an executive office, and I'm not going to get it right, of living and something living, what the O is communities.
Yeah.
And yeah, so which was DHCD, Department of Housing and Community Development. They've now, because I think the governor is so focused on housing as a major part of her platform, she has created a deputy level group. And so I think it's possible that something might emerge from that, but it's not, it gives us a little more flexibility is what I heard. And in his comment, in Paul's comments and some of the conversations we had, there does seem to be awareness that $30 million for site prep, roughly number, is a big number, and that didn't necessarily offer something up, other than to say that they're aware of it, and it will be certainly something that will be discussed. And that's what I had for DCAM. I asked Alan to come here because we know that he and his group have been working hard on the wastewater treatment piece, and I thought it might be good to hear, as he's been sharing that with various other groups, what's sort of feedback.
All right, as far as kind of what is generally out there, we continue to work with DOC. Most recently, we've seen high flows, at the for the existing operations, which has been somewhat complicated because we think there's some issues ongoing within the walled area that aren't real, they don't translate to what should be used by the, prison farm or the state police barracks. So we're trying to work with staff on isolating and maybe identifying what that contribution is. The importance of that is we're trying to understand what the existing needs are, not based on a system that isn't being maintained. So that's sort of the most pressing issue in front of us when it comes to the design considerations. Other than that, we've certainly communicated to select board, advisory board, and even the municipal housing working group, the areas of interest around wastewater, including the sand beds. DCAM is aware of that as well. So now sort of the next task is to start framing, all right, what about public works? And what kind of area would you be, looking at as far as occupying? I think the real issue and opportunity is to repurpose some existing buildings. That's kind of what's interesting, so that we'd be not looking at, having to demolish and then, reconstruct, but really repurpose. So those are the high level and where we're at this point.
One of the questions that came up with DCAM around that is about the possible reuse of, this site for that purpose is where there are gonna be a lot of trucks coming, going, making loud noise and salt and all those kind of operations. And we did not represent other than to say that we were aware of that consideration.
Correct, we haven't had that discussion yet. I'd also say we have to, I have not had an opportunity to go to the housing development court to have a conversation yet. That is outstanding, and that sort of, I believe I was, talking with Scott about maybe getting some time and attendance at the upcoming meeting, to have that conversation. That's the high level.
All right, thank you. And I,
Keith Bergman.
yeah, just before I go to you, Keith, are there any questions among the advisory board for Alan or? No, okay, Keith?
Hi, thanks very much. Keith Bergman, Chair of the Concord Municipal Affordable Housing Trust, also a member of the Land Use Working Group. First, as the chair of the trust, one of the issues the things that we're very important with is what is the best way for the trust and other housing entities in Concord to try to leverage affordable housing and not just housing at the properties that you're looking at. And so if that's coming up in conversations with DCAM, that would be great for us to know and to perhaps strategize on how we can help to ensure that there's affordable housing at what levels. I'm reading between the lines. I would take it that if Concord's goal includes affordability up to 150% of area median income, that and that DCAM doesn't have a particular definition of affordable housing in mind, unless I misheard that. Affordable housing per se is 80% of AMI. Concord affordability is 150%. So those are some of the things we're looking at. We're also looking at how can we best leverage our trust funds to make sure that there's if there's an affordable housing developer as part of the team that DCAM selects for this site, then if they need access to low income tax credits, there would need to be a local match for which the trust is happy to play that role. But I think that as we move forward, it'd be helpful to have some discussion specifically on how to make sure that the housing that gets built at MCI, and Junction Village for that matter is not it's not just housing, but that there's, affordable housing. So thanks very much.
John, you have your hand raised?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Keith, I think our presumption has always been that there would absolutely be affordable housing as part of the project. I just had a question though. Thinking back to the Christopher Heights project where the town had, I think, committed $2 million of funding. Then that project didn't roll forward. Did that money go back to the CHDC? In other words, are those dollars sitting someplace waiting to subsidize something, or would any subsidy from the town need to be created anew?
Yeah, the $2 million that the town had made available for Junction Village was once it was declared on or returned to the reserves, those funds went to the trust. So we have we have a current we're applying for 750,000 and change in additional monies from the Community Preservation Committee this year, and we have a balance of we'll have a balance of around $3 million resulting, and so we think that we would have the funds available to leverage low-income tax credits, but we've got other things on the radar screen as well in the meantime, and we'll continue to ask for more money. But I think it would be helpful to have a specific discussion between the housing groups, the trust, perhaps as lead, and the MCI advisory board, so we're on the same page of how we can advocate for affordability at MCI, and to make sure that we're taking the steps to make sure that we can leverage the state funds that an affordable housing developer will need.
Thanks. No, that's good to hear.
Thanks.
Mary?
Thank you. While we're on the topic of housing, I have a few things I'd like to share with the board. And first of all, the housing groups have done quite a bit of work touring other housing developments within the area. And we're learning quite a bit about how to get low-income housing with very substantial federal and state subsidies that lower the cost per unit. So that's something I think we should be aware of, and DCAM should be aware of it as well. But while I'm on the topic, I am also the liaison to the Economic Vitality Committee, and their take on housing is that they would like to see market rate and maybe even luxury housing, because their thinking is, how do we make sure that we have the customers for the commercial use, the retail shops we might have if we do mixed use, and how do we keep West Concord viable? So these are things that the Land Use Working Group will be discussing in the future. But for now, I just wanted to alert you to those things, because you'll probably get questions like this at your upcoming League of Women Voters forum. I think it's this Friday. So I just wanted to share that with you. That's what I'm hearing from constituents that I go out and listen to.
Great, thank you, Mary. Let's see any other questions. Report, next item of business is reports from subcommittees. Do we want to, maybe John, we want to start with you?
Sure. So the community outreach has not met since August, but there's been a lot that's happened as a result of that last meeting. First of all, the website, as I hope you've all seen, has been fully updated. It now has the vision plan, and I've actually gotten a bunch of good feedback from people who really, it's kind of funny. It's as if people hadn't known anything about what's happening. They've now seen the site, they've read the report, and have been really impressed by it. So that's great to have that up and running. We sent an email out to all of our stakeholder list, alerting them to the updated the site, and we've gotten some good feedback there. And in particular, we've heard from a few different people about, inviting us to come back and speak to them again, which we're going to do. One is the League of Women Voters, which is this Friday morning at their First Fridays event. So I'm planning to be there. Dan, I think you're already planning to be there. Any other members who'd like to come, you're more than welcome, of course. And then also the Metropolitan Area Planning Committee, MAPC. We've been in touch with them. They reached out to see if we'd be willing to come talk to them about what's going on at MCI. And we said, of course, we would be. So I don't think we've set a date for that yet, but we will. So other than that, Aaron, is there anything else that we should be mentioning?
Can't think of anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your efforts, continued efforts. Peter?
Yeah, John, I was planning on trying to get to the League of Women Voters thing. Do you have a slideshow that you're using?
I will. I don't have it yet, but we will. Yeah. I think Shannon might have some information on that. I haven't seen the final deck, Shannon, but
Yeah, we have the template from agency that's supposed to be like an outline of the vision plan, and then there are sort of transitionary slides that can be edited depending on what the outreach meeting is. So I'll get that over to you, John.
that'd be great. So Peter, let me run through that, and then I'll ship it out for any suggestions.
Great.
I think the Planning and Land Use Strategy Committee hasn't met since our previously approved minutes, so nothing to report.
Okay, great.
Same here.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both. All right, the next one is a report from the select board.
Oh, okay. The select board obviously has been paying very close attention to all of these efforts, and we thank you for them. It's feeling like it's coming together. We're looking forward to working with the board and with DCAM on the concept that we're discussing. We're getting positive feedback all the way around, so I think we're making the kind of progress that we hope we make. And again, as soon as I think we're ready to schedule some of those meetings, I think what the hope is that we're going to be able to have the first session with DCAM probably right around the same time as the Harbor Business Partnership thing or next Wednesday.
Thank you. The next order of business is public comment. I see Carol Savoy has her hand up.
Yes, Carol Savoy, 61 Belknap. I was just trying to get a feel for when you will be making a decision on the three options. It wasn't clear to me when that was going to happen.
We're working to prepare recommendations to the select board, and it could be an amalgam of the three, but we haven't voted on what we're going to recommend yet. So as soon as we report to them, everyone will know.
Right.
And-
Is that 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years? Any sort of indication of timeline on that?
Well, we like your use of threes. Hopefully, I don't know what the select board meeting schedule, but probably should be in, the next month or so. I'm just guessing, so I don't really have a clue as to that.
Yeah, the unit is probably weeks, not months.
It's funny, I was gonna say months, not years.
Yeah,
So it's somewhere between there.
yeah.
Great. Well, we look forward to coming to a decision.
Thank you, Carol.
So will we.
Keith?
Thanks very much. Just on the heels of that last question, is it still the case, or maybe it's not, that it is going to a town meeting in 2026 with zoning proposals for MCI Concord still part of a timetable?
I think the fairest response to that is that we haven't ruled it out yet. So we recognize that particularly housing is a goal that we share with the state. And if we could make some housing happen, that would be desirable. And so we're still inside the window where, you know, some solution could potentially be presented at the town meeting. And that's why the board's working so hard on trying to get the recommendation to the select board. And we're working hard on the collaboration with DCAM to try to see whether that would be the concept would be attractive to the state.
Thanks. And I had another related question, perhaps. The while the trust has been touring, we've been meeting with our counterparts from other communities to talk about housing development, and you know, MCI Concord keeps coming up at those meetings, and there's great interest among our neighboring communities to get briefed and find out what if not what the plan is, at least what, you know, opportunities there are for providing input. So I don't know if there's any particular venue or opportunity for other towns to learn more about this project, but it's a question that keeps coming up with people that I see from other communities. So thank you.
Keith, I'll add one more thing. So we're because of the sensitivity of this quote unquote negotiation, you know, we're doing a lot of planning now in the executive session, and so we are making good progress, and we're trying to coalesce around an approach that we want to recommend to the select board. And I think that once we get there as a board, then we'll be able to come out and, you know, I think it will. I appreciate the comments you've made about the importance of being aligned with the trust and the housing groups, and so I think there'll be time for that. So I'm glad you are reminding us of that, though.
Thank you.
Okay, not seeing any additional questions. We are, and on the heels of John's comment, we're going to enter into executive session under Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A-6, to consider the purchase, exchange, lease, or real value of real property. If the chair, and as vice chair or co-chair, I declare that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body, and we will not return from this open session. So I need a.
So moved.
Thank you, and I'm going to do a vote. Peter?
Aye.
Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Aaron?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Dan? Yes. Scott?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Linda?
Yes.
Wow, still not in an airplane. Thank you all. Oh, Patrick?
Yes.